Hey, so I've started doing these videos kind of partway through me going through my collection. Before I was just doing them as a post. So I'm going through the earlier ones so I'd have a video for each one. So this one is a video for the very first cubby that's in my board game collection. So in this one here we have Sid Meier's Civilization, we have Dominion Intrigue, Raccoon Tycoon, and Oilman, the game. So, Sid Meier's Civilization. This is my first Civilization game that I bought, and I tend to want to buy a lot of Civilization game. I haven't actually played this one yet, just because the people I normally play with, this is a bit of a heavier game, or longer, like a game that'll take a little bit longer, so it's not really kind of the right crowd. So I'm waiting to have the right people to play this one with me. This one I bought actually secondhand when I was at a FallCon event, and the box is just filled to the brim, so I'm not sure what all is in there, if it's just a base game or if there's any expansion in it, but it's really, like, the component looks really neat. There's dials, and I'll see if we can see a little bit closer here. So there's these cardboard, or like user board, I guess, that comes with a dial, so I don't know how that's going to work out yet. And how that's going to look when we start playing it. This is a picture of it all set up. So each player kind of selects a famous character that they're going to play as. And I know that the board is only revealing one corner, and then as you explore, more and more of the map gets showcased. So this one looks really interesting. I'm really excited to play it, but we'll have to wait to see when that's going to happen. Next game I have on this one here is Dominion Intrigue. I bought this one a long time ago. I had played my Dominion with my brother, and he had the base game. So I thought I would get the Intrigue to kind of have a little bit more variety in case we ever got together and played together. But turns out Dominion Intrigue 2nd Edition is not a standalone game. And I still don't own the original Dominion, but my brother had an extra set of the base card that makes this one playable as a play alone. So he gave those to me, and I've been able to play Dominion Intrigue. Dominion is a deck building game. It's very neat. Because there's a lot of different cards that you can play with, but you don't play with all of them every time. So every time you play, a different cards are selected, so it kind of creates a lot of variety in the game. I believe it's 9 or 10 cards that gets pulled out. And in Dominion with a deck builder, you can purchase one and you can do one action. And then depending on the cards that you get, if you can do any more of that. So it kind of gets a bit of that engine building where you're trying to get cards to create longer combination where you can perform a lot more on your own terms. With this one, you can also buy cards that will give you victory points, and when 3 of the packs of cards are depleted, that's the end of the game, and whoever has the most victory points at that point is the winner. So this is a great game. We really enjoy it. It's kind of like a classic, right? The classic deck builder. So the next one I have after that, oh, sorry, I didn't even show you guys a picture of the Dominion. So this was last time we played it, actually. So it's all set up there. Okay, now the next game I have is Raccoon Tycoon. I played this one a couple of years ago at a friend's game night. And it was neat. It's a stock game, so it's a stock-based game, and I like those. So, and I actually just recently purchased my own copy of this one, so I haven't actually played my own copy yet. This happened a few months ago. So with Raccoon Tycoon, there's some set collecting because you're bidding on cards. You're selecting cards that either that's going to provide you with some resources, but it's also going to affect the price in the stock market for some other resources. So you'll be collecting some resources, and knowing when to sell those is key on that one. This particular game comes with actually money. Like, you know, a lot of games now has coins. This one is actually money, but it's not really paper money. It's almost like a glossy finish on it. So as far as dealing with money, it's a nice one. The components are beautiful. There's all different shape, and it's like neat shape, so it's very cool. Where this game really shines for me is in the stock market portion of it, because as I'm saying, when you get some cards, it'll prompt for the price of the different resource to move up, and then you'll be tracking that on there. And so you want to try to get the resource that you have the most of, trying to kind of bump the price up if you can. But when you sell those resources, it bumps the price down. So ideally, you want to be the one selling it first to take advantage of the higher price. And then sometimes, like, the person right before you sells a resource you were about to sell, and it kind of totally changes what you were expecting to do. It's a very neat game. I can't wait to play this one again. Second one I have in my collection is the Oil Man game. Now, this is a game that's, it's an older one, 1994. It was created here in Alberta, kind of following the oil industry. This one's really neat. Like, it's a big, thick board. Like, it's like a cube, but you give it a shake, and then you set it on the table. And I don't know how it works, but there's different height cubes or something inside of there. And every player runs their own company. And the goal of the game is to dig some oil sites. So when to dig to the first depth will cost you so much, and then to go from the first depth to the second depth will cost you a little bit more. Or you can skip from the first depth and go all the way to the third depth, but then it's going to cost you quite a bit more, and it's frustrating if you're doing that and turns out it was in the second depth. But so it comes with these little plastic, it's like little sticks, but there's a rig on it, and then there's 3 different size of the stick on it. So you select which hole you want to dig in, and you stick that stick inside and see if it's going to collide with oil. And if it does, you get to claim that the new income from your new oil site. And you keep going. You can buy more land to dig in. You can dig in the sea, but it's going to cost you more money to do that. And then at the end of the game, it's whichever player that reaches a certain amount of income first. I'll show you another picture here of the game. This is when we last played it, and it's all set up there. So you can see we actually use dry erase markers to kind of mark who gets what part of the map. But yeah, so it's an interesting one. This is my son's favorite game, my youngest son's favorite game. And actually, the Oil Man game is currently getting reprinted here in Alberta. It was very scarce and hard to find for a while. Actually, somebody had offered me over $200 for my copy, but my son begged me not to sell it. So we kept it, but now they're doing a reprint of it, so then that should be coming out. And then, so that was it for my first cubby. So if you want to follow me on Facebook, my group is Disbury and Areas Playing All the Game, or I'm also on Instagram under Board Game Mama. Thanks, you guys take care.